Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we have two topics to discuss today, and hopefully we don't go much more than an hour or so. So, I'd like to go down and get some eating done eventually. But anyway, the first one of our topics is Windows 7 is going to start doing full screen nags. Yay, isn't that so exciting? And so maybe it's about time to switch to Linux. And then we will also have a look at Kubuntu versus Farron OS. And we will go ahead and have a look at those. But let's go ahead and jump in on the comments. We got Farron OS dev is in. Now, we had a little bit of an issue with getting this, the RC candidate installed on a VB5. If no, it's not, my machine was not being slow. If this machine gets slow, we have problems. So that was not it, but removing those lines, as he suggested to do from the config file, fixed the problem. We have it installed. Hopefully it boots. I don't even know. I do not want to reboot it just to test it because I'd like to show the first time login screen, which is worth showing on Farron. Hello, Ken. Greetings to you and Alex. All out Ubuntu talk. Now, I'm going to try and talk about Ubuntu as little as possible. Both of these distros, of course, Kubuntu is just an Ubuntu flavor, and Farron OS Next is now based on Ubuntu, not based on Mint any longer. But anyway, we'll see what we do. Q1 Fiend, hello. How is it going? Present arms. How's it going there? Here's my arm. I presented it. All right. Should put Farron on the map. I hope so. Run Farron a few times, show friends and family how it looks and works. I'm putting the newest version from SourceForge. Yep. Looks like it'll be fun, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, I just need to figure out why. No, so apparently you don't have those issues. So I had issues installing the release candidate 2 on VirtualBox 5. But apparently VB6 will not have any issues. So if you are planning on using VB5, if he doesn't fix it, there's a paste bin up there which gives you the instructions on how to fix that. So not sure. Let us know, Farron, if you're going to fix that for VB5 or let it roll. When can we get a cat in tinfoil hat again? It is so hard to take a picture of the cats in tinfoil hats, but you can head on over to shop.switchtolinux.com and you can get your own coffee mug with the cats in tinfoil hats on it if you are interested in so doing. Remind me to put the bootloader stages of Calamaris on the last part of installation that it is possible to be on. All right. So can we talk about too many distros topic? I've tried convincing a few people to switch over to, and it's just too many options to choose from. Wouldn't it be only better if we only had a handful? Probably. We probably have too many distributions for sure. But I would not want to cut back to too few because the wide variety and distributions definitely is a contributing factor to keeping garbage out of the Linux world, although it adds its own garbage into the Linux world, so it's kind of an if or that. I've had several discussions on that in the past. I'm not sure I want to dedicate another video to it right yet or not. Meh, eating is bloat. Well, that's what the kitty was saying, but the kitty eats and therefore he's bloat, I eat, therefore I'm bloat. That's what my kitty says. Did an interview with Microsoft employee today, but can't use it because it has a really loud hissing sound. Oh, that's not good. Pizza, it depends. You might be able to correct a lot of that out in Audacity. I have a video about clearing background noise out of something, and it might actually work. Give it a try. I'm just going to use noise reduction stuff. Thumbnail was still very cursed, though. Maybe that rejected Farron OS logo is why Calmars... Did it? How did it reject the Farron OS logo? Oh, is the logo that we used a rejected one? Let me know if the correct one is. I'll see if I can fix it. I just did some searches for some logos, and I was looking for a good ping that I didn't have to edit the stuff out. So, but anyway, good luck with my Win 7 VM getting nags. Yeah. Hello, Mitchell. Greetings. Marina, hello. How are you doing? Jessica, how's it going there? It's almost as if Microsoft doesn't want people using their products because they're all worse than the FOSS competition. I'm telling you what, it's crazy. It's like every edition is getting worse and worse and worse. It's like the iPad nightmare. It's like I finally put the newer version of iOS on there and it's like a giant nightmare. It makes me like, I don't really want to upgrade to anything else. Can I just hold all technology right here? It's good enough. I don't need it to get any better because at this point in time, better means it goes downhill. You log in and immediately power off OOBE. It will happily come out. I just didn't bother just because I just got it installed. So feel entitled to use it because it's almost 30 minutes long, but has a super loud hissing sound. So work with trying to get it out. It's definitely worth a try at least. Just as long as you don't progress OOBE, it will always appear on the next login. Yep, well, that's fine. As soon as Windows 7 comes out of support, watch it will become a massive malware target. It already is. That's right. Fix disables the offline Ferris OS installation fix. I guess the other thing I could have done is just kicked off the internet for the install. That's another thing I could have done. Just update to VB6. No. VB5 does what I need it to do right now. I'm not adding new software if I don't have a reason to. Like I have the latest versions of LibreOffice and Audacity on here because I have to for some of the things that I do with it. I held Kdenlive back a package, and VB is for the purposes that I need it for various things. It generally works fine. A few little issues here and there, so eventually I'll upgrade. But hello Anna Rita, greetings to you, or just make fake subtitles. That's right. Yeah, Bill Gates' parting desire of this company was to strip everybody of all of their data. Ha ha ha. There you go. I think it doesn't have enough because Linux Mint non-LTS doesn't exist yet. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Leo is out of tin foil. You got to go get yourself some more. The table I put the phone on is picking up us up, moving our arms on the table. Oh, okay. Install's just finished installing FerrinOS next in VB6 defaults right now because I need to get screenshots. Awesome. The logo I got was rejected back in the Google Plus days. You get the current one. Okay. All right. Only a few major, well-supported distros with fantastic communities. Yeah, that's the thing. Is just teach people that. There's good ones and there's not so good ones. Microsoft's becoming a meme in itself. So is Apple. Yeah, I know. Just say it how you feel about the Librem 5 USA version. Actually that came up in, was it the news, I think? I think I went in there on the news a little bit. What do I think? If you lost your ever-loving mind! Yes, one guy, who was it? One of the arguments, I think it was Brian Lunduke, who is the current marketing guy at Librem. His argument is there are cases in like United States government where they want something that's entirely designed in the United States. The problem is the thing does not have enough functionality to justify the cost. And despite the United States government does spend a lot of money, a lot of money on a screwdriver, they're not going to be spending a ton of money on a phone when there's many other options. So I don't know if I buy that argument entirely, but we'll have to wait and see. I think it's insanity, though. I think it's insanity. 13's a mess. Yeah, I'm happy my iPad locks out at 12. Okay, grabbing it from... Okay, let's see if I can do that. Copy. Link address. that one a lot different? All right, well, I'll just go ahead and grab it. Copy, save image as, and desktop is good enough. I will try and patch that guy into the title when I re-up the video. Got a new ThinkPad today. It's killing it with Linux. Nice, very good. Get worse is why I stuck with Mac OS 10. Yeah. Yeah, I had to update stuff because the versions I had were, I simply could not do the only task I have for my Mac and my iPad is to test websites. And the versions were too old for modern web, so had to do that. FerrinOS Lite. No, this is next. FerrinOS next. It's Baby Woggles, beef with mint. I don't know. Stuck with one Windows 7 PC as a Media Center DVR because I can't get Myth TV to work. Try LibreElect or which other one did I use? Like I used Open Source Media Center on my Pi, but there's a few other options out there. You can try some of those and see if those would work too. I don't know what your functionality is, but Pop seemed to take over the BIOS after installation and the battery was terrible, so he sent it back. Oh. Only interested in desktops that are new, bright, shiny, and modern, like Plasma and GNOME. I think Cinnamon is shiny. It just steps in things. Oh, when did Brian step down from Librem? Unless that was in the last couple days. He's no longer marketing. Okay, this is actually news to me, and I've been following this stuff pretty closely. When did that occur? Doing a CT scan. Guess what? I have fibroid and uterus, so another surgery for me. Since tumor is big enough, my new year starts with another surgery. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, Chris Titus said it was government. Maybe. Yeah, I watched a few different videos on it. I don't even think it's for government people, though. One of the companies that I do a lot of work with is actually supplies governments with a lot of this type of tech. And I don't see them paying $2,000 for a phone that doesn't make calls. I don't see it. There's so many other things in that industry right now. I don't see that as a marketing strategy. I'm starting to lean more and more and more onto saying, I think it's a Ponzi scheme. I think that they're trying to make as much money as they can to fill the orders they already have. I don't know. Every time I see something, my confidence is waning more and more in them. That's kind of my thought. Be for government people when they can't even make a phone call. Yeah. All right, we're going to keep our comments there so we can actually dive into our topics today because the comments are just never ending. Thank you, guys. I will try and get through as many comments as I can. But let's go ahead and jump on into our topics for today. We're going to start with the Windows one. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, it is now halfway through. It's almost, maybe it's only a third of the way through December. And the end of the year is approaching quickly, and that means 2020 is the year Windows 7 dies. The last good Microsoft OS, probably forever, shall be taken back behind the barn and set down by Windows. As they are planning, the actual day is the 14th of January, 2020, and starting on the 15th, you are going to get full screen nags to remind you to update. It's like, hey, this is what it's going to be like every single day on Windows 10. Have a nag screen. You want to get something done? We're going to spin the disk up to 100%. Oh, you want to get more stuff done? Pop up, pop up, pop up. Notification, notification, notification. Oh, we see that you've just cleaned all that stuff out. We'll just go ahead and reinstall Candy Crush for you right now. That's one of the great, amazing things you have to look forward to when you upgrade your computer to Windows 10. or you can just switch to Linux. So the Linux desktop environment, you can get one that looks just like Windows, which is the one I like, Cinnamon, because I'm most productive. And there's a lot of other options that you have. If you want to be completely different, you want to do some Mackie type stuff, you want to do however you want to do it. Not everybody can necessarily switch to Linux. We understand that, but definitely give it a try. And also, I want to do this video as a reminder that if you are waiting until the end of Windows 7 to switch to Linux, please do not wait any longer. You don't want to jump into your switch to Linux cold turkey. You're going to find that some things are a little bit different. You're going to want to figure out the workflow. You want to figure out a lot of things. So my first recommendations, let me actually get into my recommendations after let's have a quick look at this article. Then we'll get into recommendations here. So they are pushing out a new update. So of course the update, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out which KB update this is in the Windows Manager, Update Manager, and block it from installing. But what they are going to do is you will see full screen notifications warning that your Windows 7 PC is out of support. It will start appearing January 15th, the day after support ends. Microsoft will warn Windows 7 users who haven't upgraded that their PCs are more vulnerable to viruses and malware due to the lack of security and software updates and no tech support. There will be 3 options to dismiss the message, including the ability to remind later, learn more, or don't remind again. The full screen prompt will remain on the screen until a Windows 7 user has interacted with it. Windows 7 support will end January 14th, 2020, and Microsoft has been promoting Windows 10 as the main upgrade path for business and consumers. And in fact, it has finally passed Windows 10 market share because they sent out Guido to disable all these computers, so you were forced to buy a new one, because that's what they do. Microsoft's latest operating system now is set to hit 1 billion devices next year, only like 5 years late. And that's pretty much all they had to say about it. Let's see if there's any comments. Something like this could possibly have some spicy comments. I have an idea. Why not just automatically upgrade Windows 7 users to Windows 10? Oh, they tried that. The reason people are still running Windows 7 is because they don't like Windows 10. There's an option for that when Windows 10 was released. It was a free upgrade. I know it was because I did it. I'm not sure how it is now. Guy says, I was being sarcastic. Sorry. You didn't know that. All right, it was smart of MS to do it that way, but sadly, on the family Vaio F laptop, which is now nearly a decade old, the latest update is 1909 caused some driver issues. So it's still free, just upgraded an old PC. I have on Windows 7, having some IP configuration problems, however, since then, of course. Heard that they were officially stopping free upgrade program. They will actually still do it. They probably should advertise it a bit better. Not sure everyone on 7 wants to upgrade to 10, but there are surely plenty of people who would if they understand what it meant. And so, let's see. People are stubborn. They actually upgrade to Windows 10. Honestly, if they don't, they are to install Linux. Free to install Linux. There you go. There's an idea. Also free to keep what they have and paid for. It's actually still is a free upgrade. You can upgrade. That's the thing is, I don't want it. That's the problem. I don't want it. I might actually upgrade my Surface Pro 1 to Windows 10 again. I actually haven't used that since like June. Anyone want to buy a Windows Surface Pro 1? Anyway, just so you know, even though Windows 7 won't get more security updates for normal users, Microsoft is still creating security updates for Windows 7 because they will continue doing that for paying corporate customers. That means that although you are a consumer, could get Windows 7 security updates that patch Microsoft bugs, you won't get those updates because they want you to go to Windows 10. So that when they have done the work for those updates, yet they don't want to have their bug fixes. And that's really it. So I'm not going to read any more of those. Just a friendly reminder, Windows 7 is going out of support. Now, does that mean you cannot use it anymore? Of course not. You can still get on. You can still use it. It is going to be very susceptible to malware, so you want to be extra careful about email attachments. A lot of, visiting shady sites, things like that. You just got to be a little bit extra careful with it. Now, suppose that you really hate Windows 10. Like, Windows 10 is what pushed me to Linux. I didn't use Linux at all until then. I mean, I was familiar with it a little bit. I had, an Ubuntu install disk laying around, and, I booted into it a couple of times here and there. But what I ended up started seeing is the writing on the wall on Windows 10, and I said, you know what? I do not like Mac. Windows is not an option with the things that they're doing, so I'm going to get full-fledged into the Linux part. So I jumped into the Linux, and frankly, I'm so glad I jumped into Linux. I've been so much more productive on my devices since then. You can do any degree of work. You may not be able to do all of the exact same applications, but you can still do anything. I mean, I write books and publish them and distribute them entirely on Linux FOSS software. I do all of my channel stuff. I wouldn't even actually know how to do a YouTube channel on Windows. I really wouldn't. But I do it all on free and open source software here on Linux. And if you do want to jump in, though, don't wait until support ends. You don't want to get throw your computer off. The first step you're going to do is start researching some of the programs you're going to need to switch to and install them. Most of them are going to be cross-platform. So, for example, you're going to replace Microsoft Office with LibreOffice or something like it. Go ahead and install it on Windows for the last month. And then anytime you need to do any of that type of work, you want to get on and you want to start with using LibreOffice. Only jump back if you run into a bug and you cannot figure out how to do it. You don't have time to do it, and then figure out how to do it. And the fact is that some people say LibreOffice is not nearly as compatible as Microsoft Office. That is actually simply untrue. The fonts are going to be different, so you're going to want to make sure that you install some Windows fonts on there, which you can just copy the fonts from your Windows computer over, in all honesty. And you also want to save documents. If you're going to be sending documents to other Microsoft users, you're going to want to save documents in the docx format. That's just a reality of sharing files. Now, I do that a lot, and I don't have any issues. And very, very, very few people are actually going to have any compatibility problems switching back and forth. You might find something here and there. There's other applications like GIMP or Krita, which can certainly go head-to-head with Photoshop. They are excellent applications. And just a variety of other tools. So get those installed, start playing with them. And then as you have a chance, if you have an external hard drive or even a USB 3 flash drive, you can install Linux on that without affecting your Windows computer. Install Linux onto that, and then boot into that and spend some time in Linux trying to get some basic stuff done. Now, I have videos about how to do all these types of things, from switching to Windows and to Linux, to testing it, to installing USB drives. I have a Getting Started with Linux playlist, which I'll leave in the description down here. So go ahead and have a look at that and start making those changes. The reality is, if you're not going to go to Windows 10, you want to jump over to something that's going to be more secure, particularly if you're doing internet surfing. Now, there's things like I still run one of my businesses. Accounting is still on QuickBooks. I'm going to keep it over there, as long as I possibly can. And if that means I need to pull a Windows computer off the internet and only boot it up to do books and accounting, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now, my other business is entirely running GNU Cache at this point in time, so that's already switched over to Linux. So just keep in mind that you might still need to do that, but if you need to do a lot of online things or email things, it might not be bad to have a boot up that you can do inside of Linux. Do all that kind of more dangerous stuff because you're connecting to the outside world on your Linux systems, and then go over to the Windows systems for the things that need that. Same goes if you're a big gamer. Keep a Windows system around for doing your gaming and do a Linux system around for other things as well. There's a lot of options that you can do. This is just your reminder. Windows 7 is going to die. And Microsoft is going to drag it, kicking and screaming because it's alive and well, to the back of the barn, and it's going to double tap. And that is a sad reality of where we are, because they want all of us on Windows 10 so that Windows 10 can steal and harvest all of our data, and they have big backdoors into our computers. Things that you're not going to get on the Linux operating system. So definitely have a look at the videos in the playlist on Getting Started with Linux. Don't wait until the last day. Start experimenting now with the types of software you can do, and figure out how you can slowly move your workflow over to a Linux system. So that's what I want to say about that. So thanks for coming along, and let me know your comments down below. All right, there's step one, and then our next video, if you just jumped on, we are then going to be doing the comparison. So no, you have not come on too late for the comparison between Kubuntu and Farron OS. We are getting ready for that shortly. Let me just catch up on comments a little bit. Can be for government people when can I make a phone call? Let's see. Last Mac was an Apple IIe. Yep. Kodi is so good, in my opinion, compared to anything else I've tried for a living room experience, and you can get it working on just about anything. Yeah. Yep. I'm not sure if Kodi does Netflix stuff yet. Does Kodi do Netflix yet? Or Hulu, any of those? Can you run any of those on Kodi yet? Let me know if you do. Collection of surgeries. Oh, man. Yeah, collection of surgeries is not a good thing. Is that early January, Anna Rita? If one of my 2 upcoming books is out by then, Anna Rita, let me know and I will get that to you. So you have something to read or listen to. Let me know if you're the reader or the listener. I forget which one of you reads and which one of you listens. I'll hook you up though. All right. Hello, Babbler. Greetings. I am well. How are you? Phone seems to be getting more expensive and a cheaper build quality. Yep. Oh, he left December 2nd. So he left about the time that he's just like, oh, Lord, they're just crazy over there. Oh, copy link addressiness. I want to have a look at this. Thank you for that, Vince. Let's have a look at that. I think that this is Brian's post on leaving. Let's have a look. Rather intense year for the Lendukes. Okay, so it was very recent. Okay, I'm not going crazy. All right, youngest son was born. Proud father of 3 amazing kids. Well, congratulations, Brian, if you are listening to this. Process, we nearly lost your wife thanks to gross incompetence of several doctors. Grumble, grumble, grumble. And now I've spent more time in the NICU than I ever cared to while nursing a son back to health. Shortly after, we lost my father, who helped care for me and my family during the most difficult times. I'm sorry. That's not good. But I say last year has really put things into perspective for me, focusing on what is truly important. Here I am at the end of 2019 at the bit of crossroads. Over the last 2+ decades, I've climbed the corporate ladder in multiple disciplines, making it to the top of the mountain in both engineering and marketing, with fancy-sounding titles like Vice President of Engineering and Director of Marketing, and placed the Lunduke flag upon the summit. And as somewhat awesome as the view is from the tops of these mountains, such executive careers don't lend themselves well to taking care of family in hands-on ways. And taking care of family needs to be the number one priority right now. With that in mind, stepping down as director of Purism, and I remain a big fan of the amazing work Purism is doing to advance freedom and privacy. Going forward, I will simply be on the outside of Purism, an avid, enthusiastic customer and supporter. Luckily, I have other work which, while not as lucrative and fancy schmancy executive titles, will continue to put food on the table while allowing me the flexible schedule I need for my little family. I will, for the foreseeable future, be focusing on writing articles, books, and my show, The Lunduke Show. While these things are certainly challenging in their own right, the flexible schedule and complete lack of personal management allows me to focus on things I need to focus on. I'm profoundly lucky I have such endeavors to fall back on while caring for the Lunduke clan. In short, Lunduke leaving executive work entirely. More Lunduke shows, more Lunduke articles, more Lunduke books. Purism crew, keep doing what you're doing. Push forward. Free software and privacy on computer hardware is critical work. Don't stop. Companies that sponsor Lunduke Show, Pogo, Linux, and Linode, thank you for your support. It means so much. And to the fans and supporters, absolutely. So if you want to join over, I'll go ahead and link, thank you for the link there. Vince put that in there already. So head on over if you want to help support Lunduke and what he does. He does great work. Jump on over there and help support his work on Patreon. All right. Was that Vince that sent that over? I think it was. I think it was Vince that sent it over. Whoever just sent it over. Thank you. All right. Great show. Why, thank you, Mike. Thank you for coming by. All right, it's a crowdfunding project. Just think of that, especially overly ambitious projects. Look at the Kick Scammers YouTube video series. Speaking of deaths, Windows 10 mobile died. Yes, Windows 10. Okay. He did defend them, maybe because he hasn't received his lecture. All right, rip Windows 10 Mobile. You won't be missed. Hey, Windows 10 Mobile did have the best UI for cell phone market. Too bad about that buggy interface. And by the way, the calendar. If you have a chance to look at a Windows phone, right? The calendar, instead of actually printing your calendar, printing out your events really small in the calendar, it's actually small Latin phrases, except for one in English that says "Greetings from Seattle." It's fun, one of the little Easter eggs on a Windows phone. If you have one, have a look at the calendar. Oh, CD's driving me nuts seeing all the cat hairs on the microphone. Sorry, Anna Rita. Eventually, I will attempt to clean it, maybe. Remember when Red Hat started, my Red Hat started, my dad told me to invest in it. He never did. Yep. Let's see. Oh, man. There's a couple people over. Let's see. Conra is over on Hex Chat right now. Hello, Conra, over on Hex Chat. CJ plays with the microphone while he's sleeping. Actually, he can't. The microphone's all hidden in the drawers and stuff. Oh, speak of the devil, and here he is. Here's the devil. There's the devil right here. Everyone's talking about your kitty hair, buddy. All right. Hello, Keegan. Greetings. If they shoot 7 for being old code, they need to save a bullet for 10. Yep. Dislike Windows 8 Mobile because of the lack of apps. Yep. Okay. Every Windows 7 computer I have ever had upgrades to Windows 10 worked perfectly. When Microsoft regrets Windows 7, it makes 10 look bad. Yeah. Program that's rolling around on the net called Windows Privacy, legit or malware. The biggest problem with a lot of those issues is a lot of those, what they say is, hey, we're going to put stuff in the hosts file to prevent Microsoft from sending that data. The problem is Microsoft does not respect anything in the host file that blocks them. So the only way to block the Windows telemetry is to block it further up on your network. So you'd have to get an active list of all those things and run them. Basically, you could do it through like Pi-hole, or you could do it through any router that allows you to set a custom block list. Hello, Ben. Greetings. Isn't a Surface RT one, though? Just gotta be sure. No, it's a Surface Pro one. There is a radical difference between them. Windows 2 makes Windows 10 look bad. The Surface is actually one of the better pieces of hardware I think I've ever bought, though. It's a very nice one. Using Windows corporate environment for basic personal computing, stick to Linux. Yep. And Baby Shark, that thing is effectively ransomware for the brain. Baby Shark, do. Shark, do. All right. When in a nutshell, replaces Google Chrome with Google Chrome. What? See, employees evangelizing Windows alternatives at Apple, but they are programmed to say specific things. Honestly, brainwashing tactics, yeah. Fox is insane. Fox News? Yeah, all mainstream news is insane. Tried Calibri Office, KDE's Office Suite. I believe it is on, or was on one of my computers. I didn't ever think highly of it. I thought it just felt too old. Survey of hospitals and government institutions and their Windows upgrade policy. We learned 40% of institutions have no plan to upgrade Windows 7 before end of life. Oh, joy! And here is another reason I am not a fan of going to the hospital. January 14th will be the new Y2K then. That's right. Disagree, disappointed. All right, we're going to go ahead. Wait, how much further down do we have? Oh, man, there's a lot of comments. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause our comments there so we can get into the next category. We are going to look at Kubuntu first. Oh, I thought I pushed the start button. Did I not push the start button on Kubuntu? Kubuntu, start. Start. Thank you, Kubuntu. Kubuntu is starting now. All right. What's disappointing is their software is getting slower and heavier. Returned a brand new MacBook Pro the other day because the OS now idles at 4 gigs RAM. Really? Holy moly. Program today that's been around for a long time called iWatch. It makes you aware of when things change in your computer. Nice. Institutions we surveyed said they trust their antivirus programs to handle vulnerabilities. Oh, Lord. That is probably not a wise thing. Antivirus companies are a complete joke. There's absolutely no use. You know what I forgot to do, guys? Bummer. Hold on. I'm going to need to minimize this thing. I forgot to change my my banner image. Don't. You guys were supposed to remind me to change the banner image. Desktop. Where are you? Mr. Title, Mr. Title, where'd you go? There you are. Pink. Got to change my banner image. There we are. Missed the nag screens, I hope. Yeah, we're done with that story. All right, let's go ahead and get started on the next topic. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we're going to continue looking at our series on distro versus distro. And this request came not actually from Farron OS, but it did come from somebody who asked me to compare Kubuntu and Farron OS next. Now, this series we're basically looking at multiple different, like 2 distros side by side that have some degree of commonality inside of them. So Farron OS originally was based on Linux Mint and ran the Cinnamon desktop. Now he is backed up to the Ubuntu base running Plasma. And Kubuntu, of course, is the official Ubuntu spin of Plasma. So we're going to have a look at these guys just kind of right out of the box. How do they work? How do they look? How do they idle? Basic things like that. And we're going to go ahead and start with Kubuntu. So here we are, and I did not install anything else. All I did is I installed the system and shut it down. So we do have a notice down here. I see that there are updates available, so we are getting an update notice. Down here, this runs through Discover. Now, this is one of the issues with Plasma is that Discover does tend to be a very buggy software store. It's one that I could never quite get working quite right on Fedora Plasma when I tried to use that. And in this case here, it appears as though it seems to be working. I like the general look of the thing, but ultimately, it does oftentimes feel a little bit buggy. If I remember correctly, I think Farron OS uses a different software manager, but we will check for sure when we get there. Also, before we get too far into this, I want to see what we have as far as our system resources. That way we can kind of get a general idea for how they idle. So we can see here we are running on 0.51 gigabytes of RAM, so a very respectable amount of RAM. We are in a virtual machine here, and both of these are identical virtual machines, 256 megabytes of video memory, and we have 6 gigs of RAM in each one. So as far as general functions inside of Kubuntu, we pretty much just have Ubuntu with Plasma installed. Not a lot of serious things that really stand out to me as far as real changes. Now, the installer, Kubuntu uses the Ubiquity installer, which is an easier installer to use than Calamares, and that Calamares occasionally will crash on trying to get your disks partitioned. I did not encounter that issue with Farron OS. We'll talk a little bit more about that, though, a little bit later. As far as applications, we do have a minimal install and a normal install. I went with the normal install because that would bring me closer to a comparison with Farron OS, being as that Farron OS does not have a minimal install that I know of. So let's go ahead and have a look at some software versions and things like this. And ultimately, since Kubuntu, we're looking at Kubuntu 1910 versus Farron OS is based on the 1804 LTS base. You have to decide for yourself which one's better in this case. Here we have Plasma version 5.16. And we're running on the kernel 5.3, Qt version 5.12, and I'm not going to remember these numbers, so take note of them yourself. You can see everything else we have here. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at LibreOffice. We are running 6.3.3.2. I suspect this is probably going to be newer than we're going to get in Farron OS, but we'll know for sure when we get over there. Of course, this version here, anything after 6.2, does allow you to have the ribbon appearance. So the default does not give us a ribbon appearance. But if you head on over down here to your user interface, you can see we have a variety of things. And if you pick tabbed, this is basically the Windows Office tab type approach. So you can see that. Not my favorite way of running it, but in this modern day, many people do want to see something like that. Let's go ahead while we're here and see if the spelling checker works. And it does appear the spelling checker is going to work. Hey, spelling, peeling, spelling, spelling. There you go. Let's go ahead and correct it. All right. And we do have our synonyms installed, which is nice and handy. Something we actually don't get in Linux Mint last I knew. So that's awesome that you pretty much have a lot of those basic tools out of the way. We do actually have looks like we do have desktop icons enabled by default on the desktop, but there's actually nothing there. Let's go ahead and configure the desktop, see what we have as far as appearances and things like this. So of course, here is your desktop view, which will prevent you from running icons, I believe. And folder view will allow you to put desktop icons on. So if you're running Plasma, that is kind of your difference. And if you're running it and you're like, I can't put icons on my desktop, that's the reason why. You need to go ahead and do that. Over here, I cannot remember exactly where the button is to actually add your desktop icons on here. It's in the settings somewhere, so it's going to be something that's going to be easy to find if we search for it. I just can't remember right off the top of my head. And since we're not reviewing Plasma, though, we're not going to bother looking for that necessarily. But there's out of our box. Our basic theming, let's go into our overall settings, system settings. So of course, inside of our system settings, we do have just your basic generic themes. We have the Kubuntu theme, which is the one we're running right here. It is nice, it's modern, has a little bit of translucency. We do have Breeze light, Breeze dark. Basic WordPress, I'm sorry, I do too much work with WordPress. Basic workspace themes, we have just the ones we would expect. We have the Kubuntu is the only real custom one. We have the Oxygen, the Breeze, the Air, all the things that we find on top of this. Here's desktop behavior, applications, display and monitor. I was just kind of seeing if I could search for the desktop icons real quick. They're there somewhere. I just can't remember exactly where they are. So there is your basic view. We have our icons are kind of set up. Our menus are set up with nice icons. Everything looks nice. We do have a very traditional layout. Not a lot of options to change it. We are using the application. I believe this is the application launcher is the name of this one. And we have, let's see, show alternatives. We have application dashboard, application launcher, application menu. And we do have a simple menu as our options for our menu widgets built in out of the box. So overall on our Kubuntu, we have very low system RAM. We have the stability of, in this case, being based on the Ubuntu rolling. We have more up-to-date packages, low system memory, and not much more than just a very clean, very vanilla feeling Plasma. Let's have a quick look at the other applications installed. We have mathematics, science. Under games, we have some board games, card games, logic games. I really like this controller icon. That's a nice icon there. Graphics, Libre Draw. Internet, we have a feed aggregator. We have Firefox. We have Kmail. Kmail is our only mail applications. I like Kmail, but it's very complicated to set up if you have multiple email addresses. It works nicely when you do get it set up, but it's not as simple as setting up, for example, Evolution or, Thunderbird. Basic multimedia. We do have Pulse Audio volume control out of the box. We have VLC, Cantana. We have K3 for burning. We already looked at our LibreOffice suite. We have Contact for managing personal information. We have K-Organizer. Kmail is once again there. Basic settings and system utilities. We have archive managers, calendars. That's about it. So even the full install does not give us a lot of bloat. It's just a nice little system, and that's what we get. So let's go ahead and have a look at Farron OS next and see what we find there. All right, we'll go ahead and take a brief break, shut this guy down, boot up Farron OS, and jump on over to the comparative. Users watching the world crash and burn on January 14th. We're like, yeah, watch it burn. I use Windows 10 of Microsoft let me have free access to their personal computers and anything connected to it, like webcams, and get rich blackmailing them. There you go. T-Deploys needs a clean out. Experience with Windows anti-malware is not good. All right. Hello, Any Creature Morph. Greetings. Update Farron OS installed correctly and booted right into it. All right. It's AJ. Remember when Windows 7 first released? I was 10 years old. Rip Windows 7. Wow, you're young. How's it going, man? All right. Trend Micro Enterprise was okay. Sophos Enterprise is a resource hog. Still wouldn't entirely trust anti-malware. No. Work, we only have whitelisted Windows programs and websites that users can run and visit. We must resuscitate Windows 10. Or, I'm sorry, Windows Vista. We might. Looks like we are about set, so let's go ahead and transfer over there. And let's see. Let's get started on the next one. And here we are on Farron OS. Now, before we dive into all of this, I did have an installation issue with Farron OS. It was something that was due to some development code, so we got it resolved prior to this, so I was able to get it installed. That's something that's not likely to be an issue in the final release. So the other note to say is that this is a release candidate, not a full release. It is based on the Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. So we'll see how this compares in several different aspects. First thing is we have a very nice welcome screen here. So let's go ahead and start through this. So it does give us the options to install guest editions for VirtualBox. We're not going to bother with that right this second. we have third-party codecs. Now, this is where we had the Kubuntu actually installs the codecs with a check mark in the Ubiquiti installer. This installer does not have the option, so we have the option right here from the start screen to install the codecs. So let's go ahead and run that. And while that's still going, hopefully it doesn't have any issues if we move on. Maybe it will have issues if we move on. Can we not move on? Oh boy, it looks like I might have to wait for that to go. Can I cancel this process? Well, we'll just kind of wait for it to finish, I guess. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and have a look at our system monitor. One of the first things you'll notice here is we have a custom menu here. This is set up sort of like that. All right, hey, it looks like it's already good. So here we have configure KDE Connect. So if you have an Android device, you can get it on F-Droid or Google Play, and then you can configure KDE Connect, which will allow file syncing between your computer. Reducing eye strain to configure night color. Another very nice option. We're not going to walk through that, and it says all done. If I remember correctly, the next one, we are going to get the option for some customization. All right, so our customization over here, we have global themes. A little bit of this has changed since I looked at it last, I think. Let's go ahead and have a look at our global theme. So here inside of our global theme, we do have our breeze light, breathe dark. Breathe dark. And then we have a Cupertino layout, which is going to be like a Mac. We have a Farron OS layout, which is going to be the one we're looking at here. We have a familiar layout, more like a Windows approach, and we have a Farron OS dark. Farron OS Lite, a Redmond layout, which is more of a more traditional older Windows. We have a tablet mode, and we have a Ubuntu Unity type layout. Let's go with the familiar layout. Desktop layout will be lost and it will be selected. Yes, we will go ahead and apply that. All right, so now we should have a more familiar layout. So we have basically like a Windows 10. In fact, if I remember correctly, this even changes our menu to effectively the Windows 10 type menu. Except this one's nicer. We have some translucency there. So you have a lot of awesome options inside of this. Let's go ahead and push OK. And there is some system settings here as well. So inside of our system settings, we have some extra theming. Before I get too much into these, though, I want to go ahead and look at the memory usage. Just so we're somewhat consistent here. So our system load, we're a little bit higher here. This could be because of the things that's already running on the first load. But that we're running slightly higher, but not significantly higher as far as our system. And let's go ahead and have a look at the about system. So we are running kernel version 5, slightly older, plasma version 5.17. I can't remember if this is newer or older. It looks like everything else here in the KDE versions are actually newer than Kubuntu, which is very nice if I remember that correctly. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at, there were some nice color options as well, and I can't remember where those are, but we'll go ahead and see if we can find those. Let's go ahead and back to the beginning of the welcome screen. We have drivers, we have some optional tasks here. So this walks us through backups, firewalls, users. See, so here's default settings, install software. Let's go ahead and see. So here, if we get some issues with our default settings, we can go ahead and just click on this and go right on back to however the default was. There was a nice color switcher in this when I looked at this last time that we'll see if we can find it again. There's some other Easter eggs here inside of Farron OS as well that are not going to be found over in Kubuntu. So let's go ahead and let the store populate. So we are using the Mint store, which is an excellent choice. It's probably my favorite of these stores. So definitely a lot less clunky than Discover is. We have our flat packs in one specific locations. Everything else is much easier to find, gives us some suggestions, and we can search for anything we have over here. You can see here our default web browser is our Vivaldi, but he actually gives us a tool that is a web browser switcher. So if you want to change your web browser, you have a variety of web browsers you can very quickly install from right here. Firefox, Google Chrome, Web, Vivaldi, Chromium, Falcon, Brave, and Opera. So no matter which one of the web browsers you want to use, you can do this without having to go through the software store, although that is an option as well. So let's go ahead and have a look at other things. Let's see, Farron Windows Decorator. Tile alignments, buttons, some more decorators on here. Let's see what else we have inside of our menu here. I don't like, let's see, let's go categories. Okay, there we are. Here's our most used. We have our education. So we have Krita installed. So we didn't have any more advanced systems installed as far as editing software. We do have Krita installed over here. We have Geary, which is probably my least favorite email client these days, but that's what we have. We have VLC. Let's go ahead and have a look at our LibreOffice, see what versions we have over here and how it is set up. So we are 6.3.3.2 and essentially the same thing we had before. It looks like our spelling checkers are not set up. So we don't have spelling checkers set up. We don't have synonym checkers set up. So you are going to have to do a little bit of extra work to get those up there unless they are fixed on the final release of this guy. This guy is a release candidate, as I said earlier. We have VM, Software Sources Store, Theme Colorizer. This might be the one I was looking for before. Let's see. Create a new theme. Apply an existing theme. Let's see what we can do. So there is a better setting as well, but this guy here will allow you to just kind of pick the colorizer that you want. Log out and log in for changes on certain applications. So this is actually going to get us our this will get us our colorations. So let's apply an existing theme again. Let's go with something a little bit more different. Let's go with Farron Red Dark. See how that did. I'm still getting blue here, so we might need to log out and log back in again. Maybe we'll do that in a few moments here. Okay, we have Synaptic is over here. I did not check if Synaptic was over on the other system as well. I have a cat that's now messing with my arms. That's messing with my ability to move. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at our available themes in our system settings. Not sure I like the Windows 10 type menu here. Go figure, right? All right, so let's see. Let's look at our global theme. Okay, so these are our global themes. I thought there were some colorations on this as well, which he's probably telling me in the comments exactly where everything is I'm looking for, but I'm not reading the comments right this second. All right, so, okay, you can see there's that red that I selected, so it is starting to move its way around. Here's our plasma style. So you can see that we do have the same ones, Air, Breeze, Breeze Dark. We also have our Farron OS options as well. Window decorators, application styles. So a few extra setting options that are not going to be found in any other Plasma effects that you have out there. You can see desktop icons are as well on this one that is going to be the similar between them. And most of the other stuff is pretty much the same. So let's right click here. We can configure the desktop down here. Have a look at what this guy looks like. Wallpapers, mouse options, icons, things like this. All right. So different wallpaper themes. So overall looks nice. So here's kind of after our side-by-side. We also have down here an update manager is telling us we have some updates. We have batteries, networks. Everything else is running, pretty nicely. So overall, Farron OS, very nice setup. Let's see, Farron OS, that's that. Here's our documents, pictures, files. Just looking at what else is on the Windows 10 menu. There's the system settings there. So there's your options. So I'd say comparing the two, they're going to be very comparable. The major difference is that Farron OS is going to give you a whole lot more options as far as customizability. So if you're a person that does not care about customization, hey, sticking with Kubuntu is probably going to go for you well. But if you do really like to customize your system, particularly if you want to make your system look like Windows 10 and a Windows 10 clone, you can actually do it here. Change the wallpaper, maybe change the Farron OS menu icon to a Windows 10 icon instead. That'll be fun. That'd be a nice little thing to do. And with that, you could actually customize this between the colors, the accent colors, some of the other theme switchers, just a lot of other customization options. So if you like customization, Farron OS is going to be your go-to distro. If you're not as concerned about the customization, you just want a nice-to-use system, you might want to just go with the Kubuntu. Just because it's, it does have a wider user base so far. Maybe Farron OS will take that over. And, it doesn't have a lot of the other systems that might get in your way. So that's kind of the analysis. Which one of these do you think is better? I think overall Farron OS has a lot better gone into it, especially for a development from a smaller team than Kubuntu would have. Both of them are great distributions. You're probably not going to go wrong. So let me know your favorite in the comments down below. All right, Farron, where is that? Where is that colorizer? I thought there was a nice colorizer. It was so much nicer when I looked at this before. Okay, really not noticing colors in theme. Was I not noticing colors in theme? All right. Let me go back. Apparently, I was not. I was looking for it. Where is it at? Colors. Yeah, well, if it's... this colors, yeah, I did see this one, but that's not the one I had in mind. There was, I recall... There was a much better color. Basically, it was a system accent. I thought it was attached to the global theme setting. Maybe I'm mistaken because I look at too many distros, but I could have sworn that you had a better GUI theme switcher, very much like what was the other one that we saw down here? Where's it at? Okay, so kind of like this one, but you had one of these that was much more GUI. This one does the job, but I thought it was pretty clunky. I thought you had a GUI one as well. So, am I mistaken, or was that removed? Maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments there. Let's go ahead and have a look at our comments. I'm going to leave this one open for a few minutes while I can hunt through there. I've actually run Tails on Surface 1 Pro before. Of course, there's the thing about the Surface 1 Pro, though, that made me really leery about it is even when you install Tails, because if you run Tails in a virtual machine, it gives you a virtualization notice. You get the same error warning in Tails on the Surface Pro 1. You do. It's creepy. You get a a warning virtualization detected. So basically, it's like the Surface Pro one runs in its own virtualization container. It's kind of interesting. Forget Vista. We must resuscitate Windows Longhorn preset. Let's go with Windows Millennium. Yeah, Windows 10 makes Windows ME look good. Yep. Get OSM and from F-Droid. It uses OpenStreetMaps for navigation. I mean, I have it on there, but frankly, it sucks. It is not good for navigation. In fact, there's even the address to GPS that didn't even have good information in it. I do not find that Lineage has a good way, or even using OpenStreetMaps on your desktop. I don't find that it has good good mapping support. I mean, fortunately, I'm an advocate of saying don't use your phone for that anyway. I think you should use a car GPS if you need a navigator system, because they're really cheap and that's what they're designed for, and they're not collecting excessive amounts of data. Any love for Windows 95 or Windows ME? Hey, on my other computer, I have a Windows 95 build. I love it. 95 for a week of headaches, so I switched to Linux. Hey man, we had to live in Windows 95. It was the only thing we had. It was Windows 95 or DOS, man. 98 was better than 95. Yeah, I agree. 98 was an excellent operating system. On say sites, I wouldn't do it. You still wouldn't trust antivirus. The antivirus is between the keyboard and the chair. Yep. Windows 2000 was decent, yeah. XP lost count on reinstalls, but it was fun. Yeah. Hey, before Windows 98 came out and had the theme, the ability to change the themes, I actually created a theme editor in my menu by using registry edit hacks. It was epic. It was like the coolest thing because, like, whoa, my friends, I was the envy of all my friends. Whoa, you can change your whole theme with a single button. It was so awesome. I actually had Microlangelo, if you remember that. I actually made animated mouse cursors and things like that. And I made themes, Windows 95, 98 themes based on music and things like that. So I did one based on Pink Floyd The Wall, and then have some things in there. I did one called Rude, I was quite a different person back then. Anytime, like, any dialogue box prompts would swear at you and stuff. It was kind of fun. But, I had fun with my Windows 95 computers. Only antivirus trust for Windows is ClamWin. 10 is really great on NVMe drives. I use Windows for downloading Linux and write ISOs. There you go. I love pie. Apple, our product isn't broken, just don't open it up. Yeah. It's not broken, you're just operating it wrong. That's right. Here, have any experience with Librem 15? If so, is it worth the high price? I don't. I think they ran out of money, so they make it up for their high prices. I don't know. For my MS mice last year. I have a Microsoft mouse. It's like you have to click extra hard on the right click to actually have it click right. Right click to click it right. That's right. You're clicking it wrong. Am I tagging correctly? I've not used YouTube live chat. No, I don't know. I can see your stuff. Use @ to tag it, I guess. Oh yeah, cool temp. Love Logitech peripherals. Wife says hi and bye. She's going upstairs to Z. Double shift tomorrow. Uh-oh. Good night. She's best as she left cookies on the kitchen counter. Whoa. I will destroy you. Oh, sorry, wrong stream. What? Who are you going to destroy? I will destroy you with my band key. No, kidding. I won't do that. All right. Present arms. I think she will sleep well. Yep. Mention her cookies one more time on a stream. I'm going to come up there and beg for some. Hey, I got some nice sugar cookies. And if you get the chance, do sugar cookies with caramel topping. So epic. So epic. Minimal install. Nah, Calmaris doesn't have a module for that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I went with that. Discover is crap. Last during Neon 17.2.3, it took over 3 gigabytes of RAM itself. Yeah. Yeah, Vince, you just gotta take some kangaroo steaks up to Anarita. FerrinOS after updates going to be beat Kubuntu 19.10 on about system KDE. Yeah, I think so. Yep. There's no desktop icons adding Plasma's desktop theme settings. Distros have folders on the desktop by default. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. I'm getting all my stuff confused with using so many different things. I'm getting old, man. Submenu, quite ironic when you're seeing certain things being discussed on KDE VDG main room. Yeah. Making lists, I do stuff, some things. Okay. Glad I borrowed Lubuntu's Lubuntu Next name for FerrinOS Next, as man, the puns from calling it FerrinOS Next are great. Yeah. Anyhow, I got those screenshots needed from the VM now that they're on the user's guide so far. All right. Noid MS is shutting down Wunderlist. Need to find a new to-do list manager that allows for subtasks. Huh. Have a 4th birthday party. Is it like second breakfast? A very long time to live. Firefox is installed too, or is it just Vivaldi? I think just Vivaldi out of the box, and then you can install Firefox. Truetail, you're 20, or baby in diapers. Yep. 19, all right. Too much on buttons while OOBE is waiting for the install to complete will cause the clicks to all be registered immediately. Ah, okay. Okay, so I slipped over the theme mode. So can you get the theme mode back? I think I can. I can get that back if I rerun that. Is that correct? Yeah, what you should do then is you should see if you can blank out the next while that's installing, because yeah, that's actually I wanted to show that GUI colorizer. If you can put that GUI colorizer back in there, that would be epic. Like the other one, it just does not look as nice. Embrace my old age to have excuses to do silly things, such as yell at the kids, "Get off my lawn!" That's right. Kid, get found! Prototype RC3 stable, even includes stable-only changes. Awesome. Note taken on LibreOffice plugins. Yep. I'll have to do it when the thing is finally released again. I'll have to do another one. Yeah, I was not going to check the spelling. So I always do that. I always check if the spelling checker is there. Oh, yeah. It's because I can't spell, man. It's a critical. That's like, if the spelling checker's not there, forget it. You have 4 hard drives in your computer. Do not run Deepin. It will drive you crazy. Every time you load up the file manager, it's going to give you 4 login prompts. To enable number lock indicator on keyboard indicator by default. Yeah, Nemo. Oh, I did not specify that, because maybe I should do another Farron OS one, because I forgot to mention that Nemo is definitely the best part about it. Yeah. Theme colorizer. Yeah, like the theme colorizer ones, just, it doesn't look as nice though. Oh well, that's fine. It's there. FYI, global themes reset the accent to blue. All right. Icon in the upper right of the desktop. Yep. Where's the next show? Get him on the phone, but I don't always see him. So my live schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I do lives. So Wednesday and Thursday is 7 o'clock. Friday is 9 o'clock. Saturday is 12:30, all Eastern Standard Time. So you can catch those. So Wednesday, I'm doing the comparatives and any other odds and ends. Thursday is a supporter stream. Friday is the weekly news roundup, and Saturday is something generally tech-ish related. And then I do video releases the other days as well. They're just kind of random. So that is my schedule. Okay, kind of sad. IRC reason Google Maps is good because they are all use the same private information used to determine popular routes. Windows was the best. Was the last best truly good MS operating system. Which Windows? Windows 7? I just got a Windows Insider email. They're watching you. Come join us. Come back. Come back. KDE apps used to look like Windows 2000 on GNOME 2. Yeah. Hello, Country Fried. Greetings. Have Windows 10 at home, mother. We can have Windows 10 at home, Windows 10 at home, Farron OS. Kid, but Farron OS, mother, I'm having NSA and Microsoft invited into our house. Yeah. Really try and run memz and wine. If so, sigh. Doesn't really work because memz start the watchdog process and it'll crash because it failed to overwrite. Hello, Kyrie Holmes. Greetings, greetings. When will Linux have a Gab app? I don't know. Yeah, I think what I might do is after we're done with the stream, I'll re-record the Farron OS part because I want to highlight Nemo. Completely forgot about that. Not to move your hands from the home row, then using the mouse. Yeah. Oh boy. Lots more stuff. There we go. All right. I've tried Only Office, a little bit more than Open. I've looked at it a couple times. There's nothing in it that I was really excited about. Love LibreOffice, pass English college using an Office 365 dependent college. Yep. At LibreOffice, they have good documentation. Yes, they do. Spelling tests were a nightmare when I was in school. Yep. We wait until the next ISO snapshot to try it. I don't know. I think it's pretty much good. I mean, it's really good. Farron was right under Mint, right? Yep. It's gonna be like Dolphin, and it's good. I just prefer Nemo. Like, I find Dolphin extraordinarily slow. Manjaro back to Linux Mint. Feel good about the change. Yeah. Stop swapping from distro. Been on MX Linux. Not the best, but it just works. There you go. Yep. Oh boy, guys. Let's go ahead and feed the kitty, and then we'll go ahead and wrap the show up for the night here. Oh, kitty, kitty. Come on, kitty, kitty. Come on, buddy. Come on. Don't be lazy. Jump. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. You gotta jump. I'm not picking you up. You gotta jump. Come on. Come on. Jump. Jump, fat boy, jump. Come on. There you go. Now we got the cat. Move this out of the way. Oh boy. Kitty, kitty, we need some paw. Give us some paw, buddy. Give us some paw. Give us some paw. And one more right up here. Oh, are they finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. Yeah. Are you going to hang out with us now, or are you just going to run away now? We have... Oh, stop mooning everybody. Kitty, they don't want to see that part of you. They really don't want to see that part of you, Kitty. I mean, you're cute on the other side. You're not cute on that side. Yes. You're cute on the other side, not cute on that side, huh? Yes. Oh boy. It's a cat. Hey, he's a fair weather friend. He's like, yep, got my treats. I'm out of here, yo. Later, Farron. Jar of flat packs pretty much negated my whole reason freezing arch. Yeah. Going to hijack my dad's computer here pretty soon and install Farron. He's going to shoot me. Oh no! Don't get shot by your dad, man. Don't do that. He's cute on all angles except that one. I don't know. Mention with MX how amazing it is to use on USB. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up so I can. I'm going to reshoot the Farron OS portion and then get this video out here soon. And I don't know. I might do. I'm not sure which one I'll do first. Maybe I'll do this one and I'll do the Microsoft one tomorrow morning, and then I need to start releasing the rest of the other ones as well. The ones that we recorded last Thursday. I'm still releasing some of those. So we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.